Town meeting will come to order. Everybody stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have any additions to the agenda? Have you got anything?
No, sir. I make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. The ayes have it. Approval for May 4th, June 1st, and June 30th meetings.
I have a couple of, on May 4th minutes. I believe that all the votes should have been 4-0 because Commissioner Hogan was not here that night. And instead of being 5-0, they should all be 4-0. That was the only thing I noticed on those.
Hold on.
Well, I know it's easy to do. You're accustomed to doing that. Also and we may not need to add this, but on the 6-1 minutes, I know that it said something about the trip board would be doing, selling beer and wine, but it didn't say where those proceeds were going. Was that designated?
Yeah.
Wasn't it designated somewhere?
Yeah, it goes to Johnson Park. I
And
always said
shouldn't we
that's what
say
it
that
goes
in the minutes? So
Okay.
that they won't, so that nobody will in the future misconstrue that it's
Yeah.
goes to,
I think they take 10% or 15%, everything else goes to Johnson Park.
That is
Okay.
correct.
So your motion is as corrected.
yes, as amended.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. The ayes have it. Public comment. Citizens may speak on items not listed on the printed agenda. Please state your name and address and try to keep to a 3-minute limit. Anthony Moore.
I'll try to keep this as respectful as I can. I've been down here about 2 years and moved down here because I was looking for peace and quiet. And called the police department before I moved down here, and they said, "Oh yeah, you'll love it. It's a quiet little town." And I've been, like I said, 2 years, and what I'm seeing is not exactly what I was hoping for. It's not quiet. I mean, people ride around with loud music in their cars. Now there's loud music in the town with the concerts, and I can hear it in my house, and I don't appreciate it. I wrote Scott about it in an email, and I told him that the music from the concert, all I heard was the bass part of the concert a mile down the road. And he said, I said, I don't agree with that going on, selling beer and wine and making all that racket and bothering people in their houses. And he said, I strongly disagree. And I'm thinking, how can you strongly disagree with bothering me in my living room? So I wanted to come down here and meet you guys in person and tell you that. And there are town ordinances, and I don't want to hear loud music and partying and stuff in the streets. You see in Greensboro and around the Ocala area, all these fireworks and parties and everything, it just leads to assaults and wrecks and fires, and there's a lot of stuff that it causes. And I hear y'all talking up there about the revenue and everything coming in from the beer and wine and everything, and maybe that's what you're banking on. But you're not helping the town any by doing that stuff. You need sewer work and you need water repairs. I got black stuff coming out of a brand new house, and it's not in my pipes. It's coming from the city, and I see the city down there climbing in the sewer tank every now and then trying to clean it out and work on it. And the money could be little better spent than trying to build a park with fire pits. I can't even breathe in my yard. There's so many fire pits around here now. And I hear the fire department going out about every 5 minutes, putting out a fire or a wreck where somebody's got drunk and had a wreck. So Anyway, my piece is, I want peace and quiet. That's what I moved down here for. And, I don't know, if you're gonna have parties and stuff, have them at the tractor field or somewhere away from my house, or have it at your house, would be better.
You're probably still here at my house, I'm right there.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Makes sense that your house is right in the middle of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Public hearing on case 2026021, consideration rezoning, Chalis investment properties, partial 07043000000038, 18492 NC Highway 109.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This evening, we have a public hearing for a rezoning. The property is located on Highway 109, and the surrounding adjacent properties are highway business. This is one of the properties that was requested to not be rezoned highway business when you guys did that corridor through that area years ago. It is currently zoned R15. They're looking to have it zoned highway business in order to either potentially market it to businesses for rent or to sell it to someone who would like to put a business there. I thought that the requester would be here this evening, he or his realtor, but I don't see them present. If there's any questions you have in your public hearing, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, I'll declare the public hearing open. Anybody wishing to speak for or against the rezoning requests, please step up and state your name and your address. Mine. All right. Hearing none, seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Board have any questions, or what is the wishes of the board? It's kind of in a donut hole, and everything else is on business around it.
It is.
I make a motion to approve the rezoning request, to make 18492 NC Highway 109 South to highway business.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no, and the ayes have it, motion carries. Approval of fiscal year 25-26 audit contract with Eddie Carrick.
You guys have received a copy of the contract with Eddie Carrick, who has been our auditor for several years now. There's no changes in the audit. The one thing that he does note is the requirements that the auditor present the financial statements, including any compliance reports to the government, which you guys are aware of. We've done it last few years, and then if there's anything that we're not in compliant with, then the board has to present that back to LGC in order to give a response to that. But there are no other changes to the audit contract.
Question?
I would make a motion to approve the 25-26 audit contract with Eddie Carrick.
Second.
Maybe 25,
Six,
26,
with it
26,
26,
27.
It's 25,
Because they
26,
go
the previous
back.
year. Yeah.
Anything further? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no, and the ayes have it, motion carries. All right, we're down to department heads. Chief James, you're in pole position tonight.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. I pretty much didn't have a lot, so the same thing I put in the newsletter. I have is for your agenda. The major thing I'm seeing is an uptick in scams for elderly. With the assistance of the Secret Service, we've actually tracked the money that this lady put into the Bitcoin machine to India, and her $7,700 became assimilated with another $2 million, and the Secret Service is not able to help us. We had hoped we could get some of that money back, but they tell us that they're not going to be able to help with that because it was a conglomerate in with that other $2 million. So unfortunately, we've been trying to do more education to let our elderly know, don't fall for those scams. And even after we approached her at the convenience store, she was emphatic. She wanted to keep putting money into that machine. So, pretty sad what our country is seeing regarding fraud cases. We've also had an instance where we believe someone is cloning credit cards. They've been into the CVS here. They've been into several CVS stores in Greensboro and Asheboro, whereby he is using a card, taking cash out of the ATM. We've got a photo of it. I've sent it out statewide. We're also working with Greensboro authorities, but no luck yet in trying to locate that vehicle. We had hoped LPR cameras might help at one of the locations, but so far we've not had any luck in solving that case. Almost 2 years ago, we had someone go into CVS, take about $1,000 worth of Crest white strips, hit the door. We've recently, with Officer Green, done some photo enhancement. We've got a much better photo of one of the suspects than we had before. So we're gonna try to do some facial recognition there and see if we can actually make charges against that individual. Still spending some time transporting animals to the animal shelter. And be glad to answer any questions you might have about police operations.
Chief,
County,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
county dog catchers, do they not help you any at all?
I couldn't tell you the last time they helped. We had a dog bite situation. They did come transport those dogs. Absent that, they've really not helped us.
But we still pay.
Yes, my knowledge, we still pay $2,000 a year for their animal control
And we need
services.
to find out what that, I mean, we've been dealing with this for, I know, 10 years now, or if not longer, that I think 15, and that needs to be something done, or we don't need to pay them no more if they're not gonna come down here, or pay them as they come. What do you think?
I agree,
Can we get a copy of the contract at some point, us with theirs?
And we looked at it, not been all that long ago.
It's been probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And, you know, there was the conversation Chief James and I had with, former county manager Casey Smith and also the sheriff's office about that contract. And the sheriff felt that it was not funded enough for them to be here to provide that service, and they were looking to increase that or actually stop the service altogether. But it's kind of fell in limbo. They've not come back with any counter offer on that.
Well, we need to do something, because that right there, to me, is just as important as Casey coming down here. He had a problem with the taxes and the contract there, so he needs to see where we fall and do right by us, or us, whatever. But that needs to be done, huh?
He's not there.
Or whoever's there now.
We'll forward out
Get
a
it
copy of
resolved.
the contract.
Can you actually see how many calls related to animals they actually have taken in the past year? Do we have any way
I'm
of
sure
tracking
we
it?
can pull that up in CAD, and, I'm keeping a record of how many calls we assist the county on, as well. But yes, we can retrieve that from the CAD, but I can tell you, it's not been very many.
I wonder if we paid $2,000 for 2 dog calls.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
One is 2,000 covered.
Yeah.
In reality, what has it covered, you know?
And I think they did come down over the weekend. We had a dog bite, and I think they did take that dog and quarantine it. So I can think of maybe 3 times that they've been here in the system.
Most of them are bites, so they come.
Yes, and we just don't have a way to transport a dog,
Yeah.
whereas cats, we normally put them back of the old Tahoe or the truck. I am looking at doing a job offer. I've talked with the manager, waiting on figures there. My feeling is not to fill the captain position at this time, to have another officer position to try to give us more coverage on the road and more backup to the officers. And then the sergeant and I will take care of the administrative part.
So I was gonna let you know that we are seeing an uptick in fraudulent scams going out to property owners related to this property tax situation that's been going on with the reevaluations. It's just opened a door for scammers to get in, to send out information that people think is coming from the county, to the tune of pay early, even though we can't do it until next year, and you'll get a discount. And so some people are actually thinking that they're paying their taxes, but they're actually just throwing this money away. So if we can please let people and get the word out about this stuff, that will help.
I hadn't had that happen
We
here
just
yet,
started
to my
seeing it.
knowledge, so,
And
but I'm not surprised.
it doesn't come officially out to what, September?
Well, normally they come out in July, but I
Yeah.
understand there's gonna be a 2-month delay
Yeah,
at least,
I'll just
so,
September.
yes,
And a lot of people might not know that.
correct.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Chief Morris.
So, we responded to around 20 calls, this past month, including one structure fire here on West Salisbury Street. We got the new brush truck in, we began, getting it ready. Put the steps on it today, got toolboxes mounted. Next step is it will go to banners and such to get lettered. And then we've got a price, to install the lights, the radio, siren, all that stuff. So that'll be the next step, hopefully in the next coming weeks. We assisted with the tractor parade going through town. That's it.
Any questions for Travis?
Thanks for doing the, smoke detector.
Yeah, how many we do, yeah?
We installed 36.
Oh, that's
That's
good.
what we got.
Thanks. Public Works Director, Mr. High.
Well, we spent a lot of our time on sidewalks. Had Devon Wood leak and stopped 3 sewer lines. We've got everything staged at the Harrison Park to do the mulch and the playground, but we get around to that yet. We put up a few of the banners on the telephone poles. We still have a bunch of them to go. And everything's cleaned up from the festival. And there you are.
Any questions for Michael?
But he should be coming back this week to do the rest of the cleanup on the sidewalk.
He's gonna
Pretty
cut those, he's gonna round those off?
Yeah, I put him off last week because there's so many people in town, he's supposed to come back this week.
I was downtown first thing this morning, and, noticed how clean everything looked, so
We got on that pretty quick.
it was good, thank you.
ORC, Jason.
We're staying pretty busy down there. A lot going on. We cleaned Basin 3 a couple weeks ago. We're still having trouble. We really, one of the big things, have to get that sludge lane down as soon as possible. We've been talking about it. I'm doing all I can to prevent overflow going out of that creek, but there's only so much I can do. So hopefully we get that addressed very soon. I keep hearing 2 weeks, and we're 2 months into, so hopefully it'll be soon. Met with various vendors again to kind of put together the chemical feed system upgrade. Our pumps are failing. We've got to upgrade them soon. There's only so much they can put out. We're replacing parts here and there, but that's getting expensive. I put a little system just kind of, this drought's bringing in some, and the heat and the water's bringing through a lot of algae and scum and just organics, and we're doing all we can to keep that down. We've got sprinklers kind of going over the basins and the filters to keep that scum that kind of builds up, put down, or keep it from burning off so much chlorine is what it's doing. We got a lot of chlorine we're burning through right now with both algae and the high temperatures and the drought with the water quality coming through. It's been a pretty issue. That's helped some. So hopefully it'll continue to kind of improve. We're still kind of investigating what's going to happen with this when they start dredging High Rock Lake. I know that's been in the talks recently. Hasn't been approved. It might be one of the things where it's going to take a while, or it could be next month. I know it's kind of in the talks now, so we kind of want to know what's going on with that because it could impact our water quality coming down. We got to know how that, last time they done it, what happened then, kind of figure out what's going on from there. We're going to try and keep in touch with the Yadkin River Keepers and the various organizations that oversee that and kind of, stay in contact with them to get ready for that. David Truitt sat for his sea surface test and thankfully he passed it. He'll be fully certified once he has his 6 months in, which I believe will be July 21st, I believe he'll be fully certified. Be able to operate on his own. Plans going into this month is to continue rehabbing the chemical feed room, the sludge, getting it out of there as soon as possible. Hope to get that new antenna installed in the raw water pump station. I believe it's came in and we're just waiting on the vendor to come out and install it last I heard. So hopefully that'll, because when it rains out here, we lose communications with the raw water pumps. We can't turn them on or off when it rains, so hopefully that'll be done soon. We really got to get a flow meter on that wastewater discharge. I've got the quotes and everything in. The vendor's ready. So we'll get that rolling soon. The state did ask for that last inspection. So that'll tie into SCADA so we can monitor it real time. And SCADA will have an antenna. So that's going to be nice to see. We can just plug it in and get all the information, reports flow-wise from it too. We've gotten all the quotes in for the flooring from various ones. There's certain vendors with the flooring that can do just like the lobby and upstairs area, and then there's ones that can do just the chemical feed room. So we can kind of get that going when we're ready to install the flooring. We've had Deeds come out and a couple other ones, so we'll just be ready to get that going hopefully soon. Let's see what else we got. Hopefully the surface sweeps will be in this month for filter 1 and 2. Last I was told was July now, so I'm going to be following up with them, see about getting those installing. We still got to get the CT study done and another basin. Outside of that, we're staying busy and doing all we can.
What's the timeline to start working on that thing for in the back?
The sludge, yeah.
Last I keep getting told 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
That's the key for me. The problem right now is he can't get Crystal to call him back. If anybody has a way to contact her,
Go up schoolhouse.
Troy
Right.
has a lady that was got in between him and her, but until she gives him the okay, he can't come.
She's the new principal at
Yeah,
Elementary.
she's a Denton.
Crystal's X?
Yeah.
I got a number.
Okay.
Well, he can't get a return email or phone call.
Okay.
I reached out to her 2 weeks ago and she was asking for 2 weeks to get their hay cut off the field.
Okay.
So that's the last that we've heard, but I'll be more than glad to reach out to David and her both tomorrow if that's still the case.
So that's where the holdup is on the sludge removal?
Yeah, because of the weather, their hay was late coming in, so she asked that she could get that off the fields before we did the application on that. But it has put a delay because we were expecting the middle of June.
So has it been probably 2 weeks since you talked to her about the hay?
It's been
Probably,
2 weeks, yeah.
this is probably the second week, so I feel sure she'll be able to do it, but I'll be glad to double check if David's not able to get a hold of her.
Jason, with the drought, what intake are you pulling out of?
We're still pulling in the same flows. The problem we have is the algae.
Yeah, which intake are you on?
Oh, we're at the lower end. There's no control that we can't like isolate the other ones, but it's coming in the bottom one.
Yeah, the third one, not the bottom one, right?
Right. I don't know how, I think it goes down, I think somebody told me 25 feet, but I'm not able to confirm
I
that.
know when we had the last drought, we had to send divers in.
Yeah, and I may have to look into that again with some of the stuff that's coming through, getting divers down there to look at the screens and kind of make sure everything's cleared off.
I think
because
it
clogs
goes
line.
way out, don't it, Michael?
Goes way out, like.
Yeah, I thought.
And that part's really low right now.
We've
But
had
you
that
can cut
done in the
one
last
through
5 years.
overall.
We've had divers in the last 5 years, I think right before you came.
Right.
We had them in to check it, but it wouldn't hurt for us to go.
Right, yeah,
back
for
through
this
that
drought
again.
especially, yeah, there's a lot of
Trash.
stuff coming in, yeah.
And where does this dredging start? What part of the lake does that start?
They got the money yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
and
gotta
I've
get the
heard
coins together first.
Abbott's Creek, and I heard up where it comes in by York Hill, starting up there,
Yeah.
two different places, so I guess it's kind of up in discussion.
Yeah. Riverside Drive.
But I think, from my understanding, they can put barriers and buffers out there to prevent a lot of stuff from coming through. One of somebody passed, I don't know if it was a chemical vendor or not, but we can, from our end, investigate that, and actually if it looks like it's gonna stir a lot of things up that we're unknown of, make sure that none of that breaks through and gets into the lake and comes down. We can actually have say in that. I'll do my best to kind of keep looking into that to make sure nothing does come down, because we don't want that, we don't want to be surprised by that at least.
Yeah.
Be ready for it.
Anything else, Jason? Thanks, Jason. Wastewater plant, Mr. Branch. Oh, no, it's David. I'm sorry. Okay.
I guess I could start calling me Junior.
That's what Al calls you.
Yeah, that's what Al calls me. We actually had a pretty busy month, so I'll get right into it. On the 3rd, we welcomed Trans-State into town. They're here to do our sewer study. Pretty excited about having them. Hopefully, they'll be starting their smoke testing this week, from what I understand. So kind of excited about what they might find and how they can help us with their collection system. On the 10th, I sat for my land app exam with, regret to say that the results weren't as good as I'd hoped. Next week, I'll be going to do a review of my exam and retest again in September for that. On the 11th, we had our treatment plant inspection, which was huge. We hadn't had one in a while. We were nervous about it, but everything went well. They sent us a letter, said everything was great. They were happy with it. I think we really impressed them with the physical appearance, the record keeping, the fact that we had everything there for them. They didn't have to pretty much ask for anything. It was already setting out for them, and that went really well. On the 15th, our new employee, Chris Smith, started. I'm excited about the kid. He brings a lot of energy. It's something we really needed out there. Everybody else was getting old. But yeah, he stays busy, and I think he's testing. He's going to his school for Biological 1 in a couple of weeks, and I have complete confidence that he'll do well with it. Also on the 15th, started the new installation of the bar screen. It's in. It looks really nice. Waiting on Sanford Electric to come get it wired up and get it going. I tried to call him today because he gave me every impression that he would be out last week, and even with it being the 4th of July week. But he said he thought he could have a crew out, but they didn't make it. So hopefully they'll be in the next day or two to get that done.
When he gets here, how long will it take him? A day, 2 days?
I got the impression 2 days he could have it done. I put down June 19th, but actually we spent a couple of weeks there with maintenance of our pump stations, cleaning, mowing, checking everything, because we had a collections inspection on the 23rd, 2 inspections last month. And we haven't heard from them yet, but we have every indication that everything went well. They seemed really happy and pleased with everything. And then I just want to mention that on the 24th, we did the little luncheon for Troy, and I've been honored to work with Troy and learn from Troy. Hopefully he's given me the tools I need to succeed. He texted me this morning about 10 o'clock, said he had a tea time in 30 minutes. Could I make it? I don't have to put up with that, do I?
No.
But thank y'all. Any questions?
No. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Miss Edgar.
Total customers billed for June usage, paper and email bills was 1,102. There was also an additional 29 customers billed for a yearly disposal, which brought that to 1,131. Total gallons billed was 4,550,093 for June usage, which billed out at 116,902.94. The
The total yearly disposal was $2,880. Total gallons of 7,120 was billed for our seven final accounts for June, which billed out at $478.84. Total gallons unbilled, 1,122,908. These are town-owned properties, and I am working on completing the June billing for Handy. Just to recap on the EDC grants, I believe we received the money in for that. I have noticed quite a bit of stuff has been taken care of so far. Community market, which you guys have seen, Donnie Apple did complete that, and we had prior conversation about no additional cost if we wish to strike the parking lot. So that, of course, is up to the board if you wish to do that. Christmas decorations, the snowflakes were ordered 5/15, so I think we were able to get around 10 new snowflakes for the holiday season coming up. The mural, Beth Stewart did a wonderful job on that. She shared that she would like to give a new look to the other side of the building and revamp the old train picture. So, something maybe for the future to look at, having her do. Sponsor banners, we initially received an order for 6. Those have come in, paid and received. Listed those on your list. We have 5 additional, and we actually today received our 6th order. Commissioner Ward has gone through the process of reaching out to many of our local businesses, and the last one today was Rick's Restaurant. So we'll be placing that order probably tomorrow or within the next few days to get those in.
Who's X?
Well, at that time, I didn't have
okay.
anyone when I printed this. So, OPE has 2.
And I secured MA Pickett and brought the money in.
Okay.
I did one, I couldn't get anybody else.
That's okay. It's helpful. So, OPE has 2, so that would make 6.
Okay.
With the Ricks today. So, we do have 4 additional that we've invoiced that stated that they wanted one, so I've listed those there. I'm just waiting for them to reach back out to us. We did order 10 additional just Town of Denton banners. Those are ordered and received, and I believe Michael and his team are working at putting that up. Rubber mulch, as Michael stated, is in, and they will be working on getting that out on the playground. The welcome to Denton signs at the north and south end of 109. Public Works has already removed the old shrubs from those areas. We hope to get those painted soon. Tom's Creek Nursery will be coming out. He did state to me in a conversation mid-June that we're past that point, so I'll be reaching back out to him to come out and give us some kind of idea. I do like working with them because if something were to die, they have a policy that they will replace it if they planted it. So that hopefully early fall when the heat is gone and things can survive a little better, we'll get those planted. Denton Antique Festival I thought went very well. I would like to thank Robin Garrison for her hard work in organizing this event and the others that have assisted her through this process. The charging station, I was notified that it was not operational. I had Michael look at it a couple of different times. He said, if I recall correctly, there's not a connection there. I reached out to ChargePoint, which is the company that I'm assuming put them in, or it's their equipment. This is no longer supported by ChargePoint and would need to be replaced. So that is something if you guys wish for us to look into that. I believe was that funded by grant funds initially, and that was prior to me.
Yep.
Okay, so however we need to handle that. Public Works, pants, of course, were ordered and received, and they're wearing those. The UniFirst, I've reached out to them a couple of times, and they are working on getting their shirts to us. Water plant, they've recently decided on the UniFirst pants, so he is getting those also as well. They've also done a design for the water plant for their shirts. So I've reached out to Carolyn and Broadry regarding that. Wastewater plant, the pants are ordered and received. Polo shirts have been ordered, and I've also ordered the men's shirts as well as the ladies, but the ladies I have received notice back that they are no longer available, and we'll need to make a reselection of those.
Any question for Paula?
Paula, sit there and let me do a banner and send me an invoice.
Okay, Ms. Attorney?
So one of the things that I was gonna talk about was the fact that we're having so much scams with this new tax situation, so please be aware of that. The other thing that I wanted to ask, we've got a town of Denton resident that's still having issues with the restaurant and the lights. And I understand that you're finding them, but they're not paying the fines, they're ignoring them.
I just sent out 3 certified letters today to them because they have 3 different addresses. So that way I sent a copy of both notices, a violation that stated everything out along with photos, and also a copy of where their violations are at this point. So that was sent out today.
Do you know what the total violation fee is at this point?
It's about $7,500 because there's 2 separate violations.
Okay, but they're just ignoring it. So these violations are different than like your grass cutting liens and things like this. For this to make it become a lien that you can actually foreclose on the property to enforce, you actually have to file suit and get a judgment against them. So the idea is that we somehow work something out with them to get them to abate the issue. And a lot of times people will forgive the liens if they'll just abate the issue, but if you're not getting any communication.
Is the issue still the light and the trees,
Yes, light. The first violation was the lights. We asked them to please adjust the lights so that if you've been by the property in the evening, after hours, the top lights around the building are very bright. They're an LED type light, and so they protrude over into the neighborhood behind, and it's causing issues with them. We've asked them to either adjust the lights downward or turn those top lights off after closing hours, so we still have enough light throughout the parking lot.
For security purposes.
Yeah, so there would not be any issues. The other is that they failed to plant the plantings between that wall and the property line. There's supposed to be a natural buffer. There is a natural buffer, but they are supposed to plant as well. Those plantings were not done. They're 2 separate violations.
So how long, will you send me a copy of the letter that you sent?
I meant to email it to you today, and
Send me a copy and I'll try to follow up as well, see if I can get somebody on the phone.
I'll do that.
Yeah. That was all I had for the moment.
Angel?
You guys have a copy of Andrew's report. Just want to thank everybody who was involved with the Antique Festival this past week. Well attended. We had some new vendors this year. We did have feedback from a lot of them that it was a great week. So several of them said their appreciation for not having to pay a fee to come and attend. And then we've also had some go ahead and register for next year. So it must have been a really good week despite the heat. The first Sounds of Summer concert was held, and there were no incidents reported in the downtown area that had to go along with that. Our welcome to Denton banners, as Paula reported, has started to be installed. Concrete work is still a little bit ongoing. We did talk with Heather Miller this past week regarding the waterline rehab, the bar screen project, and the II study. The waterline rehab still has that 2-inch water line that needs to be abandoned. The bar screen conveyor has started to be installed, powers to be hooked up, but there was the question as to why it seems that it was not manufactured correctly. And so Heather's looking into that because it was based on the manufacturer's recommendations. And then the I&I study, they pulled off of the job as David allowed that they came the 1st of June. They had an emergency they had to attend to, and then they had last week off, so they should be back this week finishing up. The board did approve our 26-27 budget at a rate of 0.60 cent per $100 evaluations, and that is based on the 2021 evaluations of property. As you guys know, it has the governor signed into law that reevaluation be put off till next year. The county did send out information regarding the new tax rates, and I believe we've got a copy for you guys just in case you want them for what everybody's rates are. They'll go into effect with their budgets. I do have an RFQ prepared for the Public Works building and the Town Hall building. Looking at still having that top coat pull seal put on for Michael, and then actually having us a deck over roofing system. It's not something I'm familiar with the wording, but just asking them to give us specific quotes so that we have apples to apples to compare to. And we had Troy's reception was very nice, and I appreciate everybody who could attend. He was very appreciative of that. And then the mural, as Paula reported, it looks really good, and we did have a great conversation with Beth, and she was excited. She had several people stop and talk to her while she was doing the mural, and potentially having some more jobs come off of that actual mural that we did. I'm looking at your ACE code enforcement report for the month. Our code enforcement officer Joe was in today and talked about a few of the actual open cases. Several, as you can tell, have been abated, which means that they are taken care of and no longer in a violation. The two that he had a question on is 54 Bombay Road and 42 West Newsom. So 54 Bombay Road is the house right behind Advance Auto, and then 42 West Newsom is the property that was formerly part of the Classic building. Wanting to know where the board stands on both of those. The 54 Bombay is at a point to have civil penalties assessed because there's not been any progress, and he just wanted to verify that is the action that you guys would want to take to move forward on that.
It looks worse than it ever has.
I don't know what he's done to there's debris.
Well, and, you know, civil penalties, as I stated today to Joe, is, I don't think that's gonna help. We can apply them, but, you know, we want to have it abated where we pay someone to physically go in and clean it up.
Isn't that what we did down in Clark Acres?
We did, twice.
I think it made it.
3 times.
It really helped.
3 times.
And that was,
And there's a huge tree that fell behind the house as well, and that would have to be removed. So,
And can we get they've done some work on 42 West Newsom, right?
Yeah.
they've done some, I've not
Can
seen.
we get a progress
anything.
report maybe?
Misty, have you had anything from them?
I have not, but I noticed on here there's 2 42 West Newsoms. You see that?
So one was due to the building itself, and they've done some roofing for that. The other was the skate park.
Okay.
He opened it south.
So
Okay.
mental housing is the first one, which would be
Gotcha.
the building itself.
And then the zoning.
Have you talked to him about the skateboard park, what he wants to, what's he doing, cause all that stuff is in there for him
I
to.
did have a conversation with Mr. Todd Smith. He called one day to let me know that he stated he did not approve anyone installing permanent structures there, that the people who were skateboarding took it upon themselves. He had always given permission to be there to skate on the concrete pad as it was, and was not aware that they had installed a permanent structure for this skate, what we call as a skate park. And I explained to him, you know, that from our standpoint, it's not a zone for that, But, it also, recommended to him that by the liability of that, he really needs to reach out. He stated that, there's not a lot for the kids to do in town. However, the people who installed these permanent structures there are not children, they're mid-20s, early to mid-20s, so. He was looking into that and had actually gone down and talked to the people there and told them they had to remove it. I don't believe there's been any
It's still there.
any demolition of that, so. Any questions that you guys have on the zoning, any other concerns, areas? Do you wanna discuss what steps to go forward with, 54, Bobby? We can have someone give estimates on property cleanup.
That would be
Yeah,
the
let's get
first
some
step.
estimates.
Yeah.
Would you rather do that first before doing the civil penalties? Okay.
And I agree with what you're saying, Angela. I don't think civil penalties will do anything.
Okay,
And 148 Farmer, is that the cemetery house?
yes.
Okay.
Who? Did we?
The house behind the cemetery
Yeah,
at
oh,
Harvard.
Can't that just be?
It ain't that easy.
This one I'm working on title work and gathering and
Okay. I just
it's fun.
Okay.
Any question for Angel? Okay. Commissioners' comments? Ms. Dean? Mr. Ward?
Sort of. I think the people that did the sidewalks did an absolutely great job. I think that when we do that again, I think we should call it a special first. I mean, they look really good. The work was fast and it was done right, I think.
And they were very, one thing got away from them, they pulled it on their own, right? Michael,
I'm sorry, say that again.
didn't the sidewalk area get away from them, they pulled that on their own?
Yeah, out here.
Yeah.
Where she let the boy go, the day down, yes.
Yeah.
I think he kinda laid.
He did make it good, and
Yeah, he made it.
Mr. Grubb.
I did have an email from Paul Briggs, and he has some engineers who work with him, and he said they are 70% done with looking like at the electrical part, and I was trying to pull my email, but I can't connect to it. But another percent, it's not far, and he will be ready. Maybe by next meeting, we could have him come back and talk to us, so.
Mr. Hogan?
I really liked how downtown looked. I liked the mural and the sidewalks, and the farmer's market looked nice, everything looked clean. I've been heard most people brag about how clean the town looked. And I felt like, even though I felt like I was baking, I enjoyed it down there at Harrison Park. And I really, we got 358 people at the concert.
300 some.
I enjoyed that too.
Mr. Hicks.
Won't have anything.
Okay. Announcement, July 13th, planning zone at 6.
I'm sorry, that is actually changed to July the 21st.
23rd?
21st,
21st.
yes. And that's my fault, I did not give that update to Elizabeth and Paula. And that's so that we can have a public hearing at that meeting and have our attorney present.
I had a conflict.
And that's all that changed.
Is something you need to be there for, ma'am?
Yes, what's the public hearing about? I don't recall off the top of my head.
Jassy.
There was a public hearing I needed to attend. I don't recall what it was. But
We've got rezonings to do. We've
Okay.
got two rezonings and one, closure, I believe, or special use permit.
So it's a special use permit that I needed to be here for.
Yes.
So, and I couldn't do the 13th.
Okay, so you can do the 21st? Okay. I thought, okay. July 14th, Parks and Rec. July 25th, Sounds of the Summer of the Castaways at 7 p.m. Anything else before we go in closed session?
We provided a updated schedule of fees where we adjusted the officer fee, so that's why we have this copy. Just for reference, so we'll need to get those signed tonight.
I think, remembering correctly, we did not have the Civic Center rental listed, so we have added that. So if I can have a motion to approve that with the changes made that way.
What was what on there?
The Civic Center rental,
Oh.
it's $50 per day and $100 deposit. We didn't have it listed, it hasn't been listed for past several years, but I think because it's something that we do charge, that we didn't have it listed.
Is that deposit refundable if it's, okay.
I didn't have a motion.
I just said it looks like it gets used a lot. There's always somebody there.
It does, we've had an uptick on the rentals over the weekends, so it's been used a lot. And then we have some standing rentals, especially holidays, people reserve it a year in advance.
And speaking of the Civic Center, did we find out who does the cleaning and any details on that?
It is a company they contract with, and they only clean once a month.
Oh my. No wonder
So
it is.
daily cleaning is done by just staff. So it may be something that we want to look into.
Will you have somebody clean it once a
No,
month?
the
Okay, so
the county does.
Okay.
Yeah, the county has a group that comes in and mops, sweeps, you know, I guess they spot clean.
It's used 5 days a week
Yeah.
It's used, yes.
by the county,
Yes.
and then it gets cleaned once a month.
And you look in to tell the county the situation there, to see if they wouldn't,
have we had any complaints or?
We've had,
I thought we had to.
Okay.
people,
Yeah.
especially Commissioner Van had shared that with as well.
That was the month that you were gone. I was in attendance at an event that they had to completely scrub the bathrooms. The kitchen was, had so much stuff in there, they couldn't really set up in there, and there were just issues. And so we were trying to figure out who cleaned it.
Okay, yeah.
See if we can't do it more than,
And maybe let them know that, because they have a room to put their stuff in, right?
They do, so they took in the old, what used to be like a storage room, so now it's the storage / office, and they keep that locked. We also bought a cabinet to put in the front that has like brooms and dustpans, things like that in it, so that people can use that when they rent it. But,
Because they even did put it there anymore, it all comes in prepackaged, don't it?
because in prepackaged, they use on-time catering, I believe, that does prepackaged meals.
Yeah.
And they just pick up.
They used to dip it, but I don't think they.
Right, I don't think they dip it anymore, especially since COVID.
And they utilized all the refrigerator spaces there.
Yeah, if they could clean it more. I know they pay a portion of the utilities and all. Okay.
And I would make a motion that we adopt these fees with the changes, $45 for the off-duty officer and then the civic center members.
Second.
Further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no, the ayes have it. Anything else before we go to closed session? Okay, we're in closed session. I'll ask Chief Morris, Chief James, and Captain Dorsett to stay.